the strong held belief is that the gut microbiome is sterile until birth. And so vaginal births kind of really set the gut microbiome, and your microbiome in total, your microbiome is everywhere. But we kind of focus in on the gut microbiome as a whole. But breastfeeding plays a big role in that. But also the gut doesn't really develop until kids are, some studies are looking at 2, 3 years old. It may be older than that. But we're not 100% sure it's sterile, or if there is some development early happening. Always really difficult, of course, because like they're in a womb, hard to get in there and take a look around.
Yeah.
But we're starting to appreciate that maybe something's happening earlier, or maybe there's some kind of building blocks that are there. But I mean, the wide held belief is that most of it's going to happen after birth. And that's why, I mean, the gut is kind of set up on part of its trajectory really early on, right from when you're born. And we know that the biggest shifts in the gut happen when you're, just being born really young, and when you're old. So the gut kind of plays in kind of the two biggest swings in our lifespan, shows huge changes, plays huge roles. And so there's kind of this appreciation of like what's happening in development, but also like what deterioration of the gut, how that might tie into deterioration of other parts of the body, or other. So we have like neurodevelopmental disorders that are kind of growing and trying to understand that, but we're also looking at these other neurodegenerative diseases as well, on top of all of the other diseases that seem to kind of be coming up. And the list is long, but it's kind of ranges from, something neurodevelopmental like ASD or autism spectrum disorder, but also we're seeing new ones in neurodegenerative disorders like Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, as well as Alzheimer's disease. We're seeing more popularity and kind of excitement in that study, but it's all really new. We're kind of just coming out of like preclinical or in the kind of the lab base, going now into more clinical studies, and the number of clinical studies are growing kind of at a rapid pace of trying to understand, okay, so like what does the gut look like, and does changing the gut do something? And I think that's super
Wow.